So then I wanted to talk about because this another one of our comments is Victoria. She was talking about how music reviews. She was talking about music reviews and stuff. When we were talking about our classic discussion, that this word should be erased. She was saying that music reviews also are unnecessary from these publications and stuff like that. So I wanted to know, what do you guys think? Why? Well, first off, music reviews are super popular. Every one of these publications do them. There's so many of these reaction channels that get a ton of views and stuff like that. So one, I wanted to know, why do you guys go look for reviews? Do you look for reviews of your favorite music? One, what do you get out of it? And then what do you think the artists get out of it?
I never have looked for a review on the album ever in life.
Oh man.
Honest, the only real opinions I need are the people that suggest the music to me, I guess. Like if they say, but I'm late. Like I'm always late to music. Even when I was listening to music a lot, like when SZA came out with her first album, it went crazy all over Twitter. And
Mm.
I waited at least 6, 8 months before I even turned it on. And then I was like, oh wow, this is an amazing album. It definitely took me forever to realize that, but it don't matter. I don't know. Buzz of music don't move me. If it ain't an artist that I know, I hate being the first person to listen to an artist because if you suck, then I feel like I wasted my time. Also, I don't want when you are new and if my friend says, "Oh, this is dope," is it gonna take me a while because I got to make sure other people think it's dope before I waste my time. I hate wasting my time listening to terrible music.
So, but
But
Okay, but that's what
that
you
is the
listen to a
purpose
review.
of a review. So, what you're saying is that is kind of
I
like,
don't know what site to go to that would share the same opinion. That's why I let my
That's
friends
that's
who like the
difficult.
music that I like. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
finding people with similar tastes so that that, like, yeah,
well, I
Yeah.
like the people that don't. See, that's the thing. Like we're debating and things like that, but I actually like to hear the different opinion. So I look at reviews for multiple reasons because sometimes I look for a review to see what people are saying about something that came out. So like let's say like the Sky Zoo album. First day it came out, I'm listening to it. I'm excited. I'm like, hey, this got to be getting great reviews.
mm-hmm.
I look online, I'm not seeing a bunch of reviews.
yeah,
I'm like, what the
Hmm.
heck? And then, when you do see one, it's just, because I didn't see many. Like, I haven't checked recently, but I just didn't see any like that first weekend. So, but let's say it's somebody that I do love, you know what I mean? Like I said, we talked about gifts. So Triple S comes out. I might have got a review like while I was first listening to it. So the review was glowing, like it
mm-hmm.
was so big, oh, it's so great, so great. But when I listened to it, I didn't feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hmm.
and even though I really like that album, I think the highlights are there, and I think there's some other songs like you said that's just not as good. Um, but when you listen, I like the reviews because the reviews give me something to bounce off of, especially if I'm not having a conversation like this, because this is not something we do every day.
yeah,
And so I can read the review and have the conversation in my head basically, or say I disagree with that, I agree with that. While because I can't talk to my brothers every day, I can't get online and argue in the according to hip hop chat. Um,
Yeah.
and so that's one of the main things I love about reviews.
yeah. No,
Makes sense. I never thought of it that way. I never thought. I was like, why would like on my YouTube, I would get the suggestion with people like listen to the album and they're
yeah.
reviewing it. I'm like, why would I ever watch that? But I guess that makes sense if you're excited about music that way. I'm never excited about music that way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Even my
see,
favorite artists, like I'm gonna listen, but I'm not ever excited like that. Go ahead.
it's funny because I feel two ways about this. In one way, I like sometimes I want to hear reviews of things I haven't heard to like for a suggestion. Is this good? There's several things like I said, especially in those like that blog era, things that were reviewed or like posts that made me listen to this artist. Whether it was J. Cole, whether it was Blue, whether it was like these different things that it's the review that these blogs gave it that made me listen to it. Um, but nowadays I find it way harder to find people I trust to actually, like you said,
Yeah,
like to give me an honest review. I feel like everything one is two things. One, like the YouTube reaction stuff, I feel like it's all positive. I feel like I never.
Yeah, the reaction is not the same thing as the review.
Yeah, it's not as if I feel like I just never seen one where somebody's like, "Oh, I really don't like this," you know, like people hated on us because we want to hate on Kendrick Lamar or something like that. But but like this is just my honest opinions, you know. I don't feel like a lot of times people are giving super honest opinions. And I think this is one of the things that Victoria was saying, like how so much of it is for pay. You can just pay to get a good review. You could pay to give someone else a bad review, and so it's hard to trust these sites now. And so sometimes these reviews do feel like just disingenuous. Sometimes you read them and it's like the things that they're saying just doesn't make sense, especially when you talk about like Nas reviews and stuff like that. He just never gets good reviews, And so in that way, I feel like I stopped caring about reviews. But in the other way, when we talk about, like you said, Skyzoo, I look for reviews for somebody like that because I feel like he doesn't get the credit he deserves. And I'm just looking to see if anyone's giving him credit. I just want to see somebody else, like to know that somebody else out there is, enjoying the music as much as I am, in that moment, So I guess that's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, when I like I said, for reviews for me, it's helpful because like Bryson said, it is like a friend or whatever that's telling you, like, and might not be somebody that you totally trust, but I have friends that'll tell me, "Yo, you got to go listen to this," and then I'll turn it on and be like, "Why did I listen to this fool? Like, this dude don't know what he's talking about." So we don't have to agree, right? So I can use the review for that as well. And that was much more prevalent, like you said, in that blog time when I would get on Two Dope Boys, listen to almost every track that came out from anybody and be like, trash, good, keep listening, check their other stuff. Don't listen to this no more. Now it is a little harder because the people that I read the reviews of, I know like I'm not going to really agree with them. So like Pitchfork, I know I'm not going to agree, but they review a lot of rap albums. Pretty much most of I would say most of the albums they review them. Like I said, there's different websites like that'll post the stuff and they'll review it, but I don't agree. I like to watch Fantano sometimes. See what he's saying about albums. I mean, that dude listen to everything.
Yeah.
So, and I normally agree with his critiques of things, but not the number he'll give at the end.
Right.
So that's another aspect of reviews is people will look at the number and then just keep it moving or whatever the system is for the grading. But when you read them, if the writer is good, they'll have reasons and they'll say, well, hey, this song has this thing that's not good or is good. That's why it's good. And I'll generally, I can generally feel that or understand why people are coming from, where they're coming from. Some of the ones you said, like the Nas ones, they'll bring up stuff like his ex-wife said he was abusive. It was like, yo, what's that got to do with this album, man? Like, so they'll bring up something that sounds like it's agenda driven as opposed to talking about the music, focus on the music.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny.
And I like that you brought up Fantano because he gets a lot of now, like, it's almost like, seems like he's popular. Like, artists keep mentioning his name, like Logic mentions his name, and then, Mos Def and Kweli mentions his name in their interview. And I'm pretty sure there's somebody else that mentioned him too. And then he's got beef with Drake. Yeah. I saw West Side Boogie was talking about Fantano, and he said Eminem was saying that. Was talking to West Side Boogie. I mean, West Side Boogie was telling the story. Eminem saying that Fantano, don't worry about his reviews. He gives me a 2 for like all my albums and stuff like that. So all these people like know.
Maybe he should listen.
All of these people know Fantano and his reviews. And what I love about Fantano is when he gives a reason why he doesn't like something. I really feel like he's not getting now. I mean, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like he's getting paid to just lie about something. He has in-depth reasoning why he likes something or why he doesn't like something. And I don't always agree with the number, but it seems like his genuine opinion. But artists get upset when it's a negative review. So what do you guys think of that part of it? Because it seems like, of course, it's positive if you get a
Erica
positive
said
review.
it, man. Erica said it, man. Artists sensitive about their shit. You can't just be, saying certain things is going to touch, artists a certain way. Like, I get why artists would be bad. I completely understand. Artists put themselves out there. You know how that is. Like, I got students, they don't want to raise their hand just to answer, like,
Oh yeah,
What's the theme of the story? So,
that's true.
that's not their art. That's just like a basic question. So, if you make something and you bring it out, put it out there in the world, you kind of like, artists will talk about it. Different artists will talk about how they'll be sensitive or they'll be hurt by some of the things that people say about certain stuff. I mean, that's natural.
I don't
Yeah.
get that though. Every other thing in life, you can be bad at something or good at something, or you can make a mistake. If you made a mistake on your album, it's just a mistake. I don't get why they can't be critiqued.
It's not a mistake to an artist, man. Well, we might say, like, we talked about these different albums earlier. We talked about Cole and Freddie Gibbs and songs that we were like, oh, that song's trash. Well, that meant something to him, or that was something that about his life, and he made it at this moment, and they had some kind of feeling to it. Like an artist will, I'm married to an artist, so I understand. Like you don't just like it's not the same thing, man. It's like they put the kind of themselves out there when they make their art or whatever. So it's not something that you could just
I don't
like.
know.
And the way that we'll talk about it, we'll be like, "Oh, that song's trash."
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And they worked on that for months, and it's not the same thing, man.
It just didn't hit, man. Sometimes it don't hit.
So,
That's why I
Bryson,
like
have you ever made a song or something like that, or made some sort of art and then like had someone critique it?
No, I'm not artistic at all.
I mean, okay,
Then you won't know that feeling. Man.
I don't know. But we used to always, because I feel like we will always sing random songs. You never recorded a song or wrote anything down or wrote a rap down? Never in your life?
No. I've always wondered how to do it though. I always wondered if they listen to the beat first or because I've heard producers say they build around a song in different ways, but yeah, I couldn't figure it out. I was honestly thinking about that today when I was driving home, like writing over somebody else's song. I think that's the only way I'd be able to do it.
Yeah,
But they would already have the
Weird Al
format.
type stuff.
We used to have a hip hop club at one of the schools I worked at, and we would put on beats and and everybody would write a verse. Everybody in the room, so it's like 10, 15 people,
Yeah.
and then everybody would rap their verse, and we would pick a beat. We'll find some instrumental and loop it on YouTube, or somebody would hear a beat and say, "Hey, put that beat on. I heard this from this one song."
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
people will rap it, and you'll see some people's verse was like. And
So
then
how do
everybody
that's
would
good. How do people take that? Yeah. How do
and
people take it
everybody be hyped.
when it's just like when no one's feeling your rap? How do you take it when somebody's not feeling your rap?
Well, it's different, man. It just depends. What's the rap? Did I put my heart on the page? Or was I just trying to come up with something real fast? Like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So it depends on the artist, right? Because think about the different type of artists they got. We talked about Cole. Cole puts a lot of his emotions in the song. You said. I think Gibbs has some songs like a lot of songs like that as well. But think about those artists. So that type of artist compared to like a West Side, who knows he's not a top rapper.
Mm-hmm.
He's not out there to be the top rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Nor is he putting tons of like. Well, I mean, he has a lot of songs where he puts emotion on it, but it's not the same. It's just not the same as a J. Cole. So, do you think he's hurt when people say he can't rap? No, he said he's not because that's not what he's really there for. But other people, I'm sure it hurts. I mean, look, like we talked about Fantano with Eminem. Eminem says, "Don't worry about it." He gives all my albums a 2, and he completely blocks it off. So actually touching his head and psyche. But people are not feeling your albums, but his sales is crazy. So to him, he could always say, well, my sales is great. So he's protecting his sensitivity, basically. That's why it seems like he's been making the same music over and over, kind of, because maybe that's how he deals with that criticism, is to block that out. I mean, everybody's different, man. Emotional and psychological stuff is serious. And artists have all of that come into play when they make some music.
But see, that's so that very point. I think that's why reviews are so important, like honest reviews, because I think people should like. Eminem got mad when Joe Budden, like you said, you felt betrayed when Joe Budden was calling his that one album trash. But like, I feel like you should have like listened to the criticism and like change. But because I actually have a friend. Well, I have a friend who wrote a script, right? And it was funny because he wrote the script. It's cool. He's he wants to be a director. So I mean, he went to film school and everything like that. and
Mhm.
and so he gave me the script, or he's given several people the script to read. And he says that everyone who came back said, it's great, let's do it, let's film it, let's do it. And he said I was the first person who gave the script to who came back and actually had like feedback. I said, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. How did they go from here to there? You know? And he said that I was the first person to like say that. And he was like, I was like, kind of afraid to say it, but he was appreciative of it,
Bingo.
and but like I'm not gonna lie to you, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, it's great, man. Like I'm gonna say I like it, but this part I didn't understand. I didn't understand it.
You just nailed it, man. So think about it. If you're a rapper and you in the studio and all your friends are there, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that was hot." You know what I mean? Almost on a lot of your lines. I mean, unless you're working with a producer, maybe who might say something different, or somebody who's above you in some way where you could take their criticism not as offensive. If Joe Schmo in the room is like who's smoking in the back while you've been doing all the rapping and he just there to hang out, and then he's like, I ain't like that bar, you might be like, who cares about what you got to say, Doug? Like, you can shut up. But then if you're working with Pharrell and he's like, nah, change this, you might be like, oh, okay, all right, I'll do it right away. So it's just a difference. With your friends, everybody's not going to be not going to give you real criticism in your life.
Yeah, that's me. I don't say nothing. Don't ask me nothing about it. I'll support anything you do. You want me to hand out the CD? I'll hand out the CD. If other people ask me how it is, I'm gonna say it's fire. But I'm probably never gonna listen to it. Honestly,
that's funny. That's funny.
Man. You gotta be honest. When people come to you like that, that's when they really want the feedback, even if it might hurt them to hear it, because you don't want to be like we talked about. So we talked about the songs where they put out the song, and then we say it's trash. Or it don't hit, people don't respond. If that's your livelihood and you put that out there and people crushing it, but all your friends told you it was super dope, but nobody.
I didn't say it was dope. I ain't gonna say nothing.
5 and 7.
You're just not gonna say nothing. See, I like when people give feedback. Like even when people comment and like try to like clown us in the comments, I love it, man. You go say whatever you want, like because I'm taking all as criticism, good or bad, and I'm gonna either try to be better. Like that's all I can do. I don't take it personally. It's not gonna like affect my mental health or anything like that. Like I'm doing this for fun, and that's one of the things I think I just don't take myself super seriously. Like even with art, like the one time I did record a song, 2 times in my life I tried to record a song. One, I was with friends and I wanted to write the best rap verse, like really serious. I love hip hop, so I really wanted to write the best verse, but it made me like stuck, frozen. Like I just like I wrote the verse, and then when I went to go say it, like I couldn't, like I just couldn't, like I just was so embarrassed, couldn't do it. Second time, I did this with my friends in college, and we made this silly song about bagel boys, right? And, and
that's a big hit.
Huge hit, number 1.
We should post that on the channel, man.
Oh yeah, we got to. Yeah. All right, yeah, I'll see.
That's true.
But
that should be our intro song.
Hey, I'm not a bagel boy.
Yeah. So
I don't like bagels either.
I'm trying to lose weight, so I haven't eaten a bagel in a while. So, but because it's a joke, I was able to do it so easy. It's so fun, right? It's fun to me. I didn't have this fear of like, failing. And so I can definitely understand someone who's like, you can put your heart into something and then like it get criticism, how that could be pretty, harsh.
Well, yeah, Bryson act like he don't know when he try to talk to girls and he get dissed. You know what it's like? You know what it's like walking up, hey, roses are red, violets are blue. When you gonna go out on a date with me?
Walking up.
Girl laughed at
Look
you.
at that boomer. Look at this boomer.
That's what boomer stuff. Walking up to a girl, what?
Walking up?
That's the way to get
each other without
that's the way to get you canceled quick, man. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
that's
man. You know I'm old, man.
Everything online, dog. Imagine talking to a stranger, dog. You are wild.
That's creeper stuff, man. That's stalker stuff.
Hey, dog. No way, man.
That's funny, man. I don't know how y'all do it these days. I can't imagine. My goodness.
I just don't. As far as art, like I said, I'm never gonna I'm not there to crush your dreams. If you think you want to make music, make the music. Like I said, I'll hand it out, post it wherever, give it to all my friends. I'm probably never gonna listen to it though. That's just a fact.
Yeah, but that's not supporting, man. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying.
fake.
That's
That's
fake.
fake.
That hurts.
Fake. That's
That's
fake.
gonna make it.
Hey,
that
That's
makes it
exactly
worse for them.
what some of these
They gonna take
publications
that
do.
CD, they gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, my friend Bryson said this shit is hot. I'm
No, I
excited."
didn't say that.
What you gonna say?
You just
Yo,
gave
here's my
it.
demo,
If
man.
you
Here's
want
my
me-
demo. I wrapped it. Yo, please listen to my demo. You gonna listen to it?
I'm gonna say no, but I'll hand it out for you. I'm gonna be honest, 100%.
Okay. No. That's cool.
All
That's
right, well,
cool.
I mean, at least you tell me
Honesty
up
front. Yeah. What about okay?
No,
So
I'm not gonna listen, but I'll hand it out for you.
this reminds me of what you guys thought of that Rick Rubin interview. You guys catch that?
Yeah.
Where
I
he
saw
was
something.
saying like he had no real musical
talent.
talent, yeah. But people listen to him, and he helped make some of the best music by basically they say his skill is listening, basically. Which
And
what is
Chuck
that?
backed it up. Chuck talked about
Chuck backed it up.
I saw Chuck D talking about it on Twitter, like, nah, this dude is like, I know you all minimizing what he's saying, but it's legit, like, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But
What do I
isn't
think
that?
about
I mean, in essence, isn't that what he's talking about? Isn't that like being an active listener, just someone who's open to listening to something and then criticizing it, or maybe he didn't criticize, but like ask questions about what they want to do and how to do better? Like, I mean, isn't that basically the same thing that listeners do when we criticize music?
Do I need my beard to go completely white before I can get this job? Like, how do I get to be? Can I sit in the album room and get some points on your album because I listened? Like, dang, man. Where my favorites at? Ghostface, call me up, dog. I can sit in the album in the studio for you and listen. I can listen real good, man.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Uh,
But that's what I'm saying. That's hard to do because how many stories do we hear about people having a song and then passing on it because they didn't hear it? They didn't hear it. They couldn't see that it was gonna be hot,
well, like
and then
beat
the
and
next
stuff,
person
yeah.
gets it. Yeah,
So
I think
That's
it
what-
just I don't know.
So so when we had I talked about this before. When we had the hip hop club, we would hear a beat, and you put a beat on, and 10 people in the room. Well, you'd hear 4 or 5 different flows, and so like one of those would be like, and a couple of them you'd hear and be like, I never even thought about that pocket.
Yeah.
It's like, dang.
Yeah,
And so you could see how somebody could hear it, start writing, and it'd be like, I don't love the way that this is working,
Mhm.
and pass on that
Mhm.
beat. But then somebody else will have a whole different pocket on that same beat. You'll be like, I didn't even think about that pocket, man. And that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And that was just kids. That's not pros. So it's just that's just an
amazing to
interesting
me.
thing. That's how it happens. Yeah.
I would love to see that. I don't know how you write to a beat. I have no artistic ability. I couldn't do it. Write to a beat like
You could if you
There's
tried,
some-
man. You just
Aw, man.
blocking. You just blocking.
I hear some songs and
You
like
can write Blueface.
the way
level
people
lyrics.
ride the beat, it just seems like the beat was created around what they're saying. Like
Mm-hmm.
the way their breath, they pause and then the beat comes in. It's just like perfect every
Yeah.
time. Like
That's the skills.
there's no way I could do that, dog. There's no way I could do that.
I mean,
Bruh,
Everybody
everybody that's
amazing.
professional don't do that. Have you heard a Blueface song?
But he's not real professional. I'm not trying to.
He's not a real.
He's making a living off of it
Yeah.
in reality shows, but he's making a living, so that makes you a professional.
I'm about to say I
Like-
don't even think Blueface make music no more. I think it's just pure
Hey.
reality shows.
How he
All
got
right.
famous.
All right. So